We just concluded a meeting where we had a hour-long conversation dealing principally with the budget that we will have on the floor of the House for debate. To many of us, this new Ryan Republican budget looks a lot like the old Romney-Ryan Republican budget that Americans less than 6 months ago rejected at the polls in November 2012. The Ryan-Romney budget, this year's version of it, ends the Medicare guarantee and essentially shifts costs to seniors to help pay for their health care. It destroys 2 million jobs at a time when our economy is beginning to recover and therefore puts at risk our economic recovery. And under the Ryan-Romney budget that we see this year, the wealthiest Americans will get a tax break of about $200,000, while middle-class families will see their tax burden increase more than $2,000. Members of the House Democratic Caucus are clear that that's not the way to go. It's not a balanced approach, and there is a better way. In fact, there are any number of ways to do this better than the Republicans are proposing to do it in the House. We will have several opportunities to vote on substitute budgets, one proposed by the Congressional Black Caucus, one proposed by the Congressional Progressive Caucus, and one certainly that has been proposed by House Democrats altogether through our ranking member, Chris Van Hollen. And so we think there are ways to do this. You can close tax loopholes and limit tax breaks for the wealthiest. You can invest in the American worker and create millions of jobs to make it clear that the biggest deficit we face is a jobs deficit. And rather than destroy Medicare and Social Security and Medicaid, we think you can actually protect and strengthen Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, which will help all Americans. So we're united as Democrats behind a balanced approach, one that the president has proposed, and one that actually helps us create jobs, not kill jobs in America at a time when the economy is beginning to recover. And with that, let me yield to our Vice Chair, Joe Crowley.
Thank you, Chairman Becerra. Joe Crowley from New York. Let me just say the Republican budget is the same baby with a new diaper, and eventually this diaper will have to be changed once again. The reality is this budget is very little difference between this budget and the Ryan Republican budgets of the past. This budget will shift the cost of investment in seniors and will change the Medicare as we know it into a voucher system. It will give the wealthiest of Americans a tax break of $245,000, while on average gouging the middle class for an average of $3,000 a year. And most importantly about this budget, it will cost America jobs. The Democratic alternatives, every one of them is better than the Republican budget. They're all about investing in America, investing in America's people, our seniors, our veterans, the least amongst us as well, to lift all boats in America. And that's why we're so proud today to have join us Marcia Fudge, who is the chair of the Black Caucus. And with that, I will turn it to Marcia Fudge.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and Mr. Vice Chairman. Everyone knows that the Ryan budget is almost a sleight of hand. We know that what's on paper is horrible, but the words that come out of their mouths would make you believe that they want to do something to help the American people. And I would say to you that the substitutes that the Democratic Party, and in particular the CBC, are going to be presented are pro-growth, pro-people, and pro-America, very much what we need at this time as opposed to what the Ryan budget would do. The CBC budget is a balanced solution to prioritize the middle class and not the wealthy. It reduces the deficit and alleviates harm inflicted by austerity. And we all know, if you listen to any economist, austerity is not the way to go at this time. It protects and enhances Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid, but as well, all of the savings that Ryan says we can get out of these programs, instead of using it for deficit reduction, let's just put it back into the program so that the program remains solvent. No one's been talking about how we save it. They just want to change it. Our budget keeps college affordable. We eliminate the sequester. We do all this by reducing the deficit by $2.8 trillion, and we create jobs. We think that our alternative is clearly superior to the Ryan alternative, and we as well support the Democratic alternative and the Congressional Progressive Caucus alternative.
That will take any questions.
Congressman, earlier today on Fox, Congressman Ryan said that when looking at the two budgets, his and the Democrats' alternative, that you guys are on two different planets. With language like that, how do you expect to come to consensus if you ever go to conference on that?
I'd first say, Earth to Chairman Ryan, Chairman Ryan, come back to Earth, because people want to get to work. People want to make sure that the earned benefits that they paid for are there for them when they finally need them. And I think what we have is a budget on the Democratic side that reflects the reality of people on Earth, that simply says the most important thing is to talk about the middle class, the heartland of America, and making sure that we try to help them first. Not Wall Street, not the big banks, not the wealthiest Americans, as we see in the Ryan budget, but to try to help the folks in the middle. If you have someone who's still aspiring to be part of the middle class, it's tough for them to ever dream and have that dream come true if the middle class is shrinking. And Democrats are about making sure that we grow the middle class. And the way you grow the middle class is not through austerity, not by eliminating Medicare. It's by investing in job creation. It's in making those stalwart programs like Medicare and Social Security better. And if we do that, we think not only are we firmly planted on Earth, but we think that we'll be able to get the Republicans to come back from space and actually deal with the reality of what we have here on planet Earth.
I just as well want to say, if anyone can add or subtract, they can look at the Ryan budget and know that it doesn't add up. Mathematically, it doesn't make any sense. At least our budgets are honest. They are open. You can understand what we are doing. But more importantly, the Ryan budget is based on a premise that is false in the beginning. He is basing his budget on the fact that we're going to do away with the Affordable Care Act. He takes all of the savings out of the act, all of the tax increases out of the act, and then say we're going to do away with it. It is disingenuous to even start at that foundation. So at least our budgets are honest, they are fair, and they try to protect the middle class as much as possible without hurting the rest of the people in this country.
May I just ask the reporter maybe a reverse question? Did Mr. Ryan indicate which planet they're on? What budgets are about a vision for our country. We didn't get into the difficulties we're in right now in 2 weeks. And it will take more than 2 weeks for us to get out of the problems and difficulties we're having. But the alternative that we are offering from the Democratic caucus, all the alternatives, are balanced approaches. They're not just fiscally balanced, which they are, but unlike the Republican budget, where they continue to say it's a balanced approach, it is maybe fiscally balancing, and we even question that. At the end of the day, though, it is not a balanced approach. It does not invest in America. If anything, it's going to cause us jobs. It's going to change the way in which we treat our citizenry who have invested in this country and deserve to get out what they put into that investment.
Any final questions? If not, thank you very much.